Hello, and welcome back to the 6-5 Summit. I'm Shelley Kramer, one of the founding partners of Futurum Research, and on behalf of my team at Futurum and the team at Moor Insights and Strategy, welcome. We're glad to have you. In this spotlight session, Futurum's Daniel Newman is joined by Mihir Shukla, the CEO and co-founder of Automation Anywhere, to discuss the technology's fastest growing category, robotic process automation. Mihir and his team are doing some incredibly innovative things, and this is one conversation I've very much been looking forward to. Let's go hear what he has to say.
Mihir Shukla, CEO, Automation Anywhere. Welcome to the 6-5 Summit. We are so excited to have you here.
Pleasure to be here, Daniel.
Yeah, it's great. This is our second edition. You were a name that I had high on my list. Really wanted to have you come speak with us. The automation, RPA, intelligent automation, these are all spaces that are moving really fast. We've seen some big moves in this space this year, both from a market standpoint and everything from IPOs and announcements of companies going public to just big rollouts from some of the bigger tech companies. And Automation Anywhere, a company that has really picked up a lot of momentum, not a startup. You guys have been around a little while, but has definitely seen the wave as automation has become hot. Let's start with something kind of simple, if you don't mind. Who are your customers these days? Who is automation? You know what? I'm going to start that question over because I missed the intro. I'm going to give you a minute to intro. Mihir, first and foremost, tell everybody here at the 6-5 Summit, who is Automation Anywhere? What is? I don't know. Is it a who? Is it a what? But Tell us about the company.
So Automation Anywhere is a software company focused in the category of robotic process automation and artificial intelligence. What we're most passionate about doing, Daniel, here is we look at there are about 1 billion knowledge workers in the world today. And so many of us are doing the work that is very robotic. We believe human beings should be doing work that is more creative, connecting with customers, understanding their needs, connecting dots that don't seem connected, and be more human. And not. We weren't put on this planet to type from one screen to another screen. And so we believe all of those work should be automated, and human intellect should be liberated to do more meaningful, more fulfilling work. And that is what our mission is, and that is what we do for thousands of our customers. And the end goal of this is to automate hundreds, thousands of processes that can be automated.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not common for the interviewer to pitch to the interviewee, but I bet you will appreciate the name of my most recent book. It was called Human Machine.
There you go. Right. Right, the new partnership between human and machine. I mean, we have been partners in industrial age and in manufacturing, and with computers we have extended that partnership in information era. I think that this partnership will just get extended, and it will allow us to be more human at the end, which is what it is about.
No, I love that. That was exactly the topic we covered, and it's what you're building. So, you mentioned your customers. I mean, who are they? Who are you working with? Who are you selling to? What are the companies investing in this technology?
We have a who's who list of our customers. So if you look at top banks and financial services firms, we have 7 out of 10. We have 8 out of 10 largest telcos in the world. We have 9 out of 10 largest government agencies and federal agencies. 7 out of 10 retailers. So across virtually every industry, this is being used by thousands of customers. We have, at the last count, we have over 4,000 customers in over 90 countries. To the point I'm making is it is used across every industry and virtually every size of the customer, from the largest to the mid and small size businesses.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a ton of sense. Those are some very respectable numbers, by the way. Having 70+% of several of the world's largest, in many cases, technologically advanced industries, healthcare, financials, um, even retail has been a haven for technology investment as we're seeing more competition, more disruption. So, RPA, automation, they're becoming mainstream. It's happening very quickly. I kind of jest sometimes as an analyst. About 2 years ago, RPA became very visible in my vocabulary, even though, like you said, it's been around for decades. But suddenly, as I think automation, cloud computing, ML and AI, it went from being sort of a, what we call it, like screen scraping and sort of UI automation to really being a next generation. I mean, I don't want to steal your thunder. So, what do you see? What are the forces that are driving the adoption and the visibility that has come about in the past year or two towards RPA?
Daniel, what we are seeing is that customers have now understood that digital transformation is not optional. And they thought they had 5 years to do something. Now they realize they probably have 1 year or 2 years to do that. And especially post-pandemic world, that became even more clearer, right? Having the kind of the year we had last year. So as people started looking at it and say, how do I get return on my investments as fast as I can? How do I solve my pain points within few months, not 3 years later? What customers have realized is RPA and a very practical application of AI that the kind that we offer is a very immediate benefit, and it has become a foundation for all digital transformation. You cannot digitally transform without automation, without AI components that can accelerate decision making. So it has become a mainstream. It is a must-have for every organization, and combine that with the power of cloud, Daniel, is an enormous benefit. Automation and cloud are a perfect match. With cloud, you get a benefit of faster deployment, faster innovation, better security, better resiliency, and we all have become companies that has to be able to work from anywhere, right? This is a world of success from anywhere is the mantra, and so the automation delivered through clouds so that every employee, every customer, every supplier can access it no matter where they are is the is how the future is evolving without.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a company too, you guys have taken a few approaches that I'd love to understand a little more. You mentioned cloud. Okay. I know, I believe it was about 18 months ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you announced your digital assistant for work, AARI. These seem to be two big shifts, at least, that are really kind of the foundation automation anywhere is differentiating and competing upon, because there are a number of companies playing in kind of legacy RPA. Um, and I've said since the beginning, AI and cloud are ultimately where this business has to go to stay relevant, because there's so much you can do programmatic using programming and code in cloud to do some of the automation that was RPA. And you guys seem to have gone in that direction. Can you talk just a little bit about that?
Happy to. I think what we observed was we offered our customers both solutions, on-premise and cloud, about roughly 2 years ago. And what we noticed was customers were overwhelmingly picking the cloud option. So it's not about our choice; it is about what customers are choosing. And what we noticed was 70% of our customers were choosing cloud. And that accelerated to a level where the last year, we almost in last 12 months, we saw about 700% increase in our cloud adoption. Just phenomenal growth. What it allows me to, if you allow me to project that for next few years, I would say if this trend continues, I would go as far as saying on-prem RPA is dead in few years down the road. And it shouldn't be surprising. If you look at all other industries, take example of CRM world. What happened between Siebel and Salesforce? Siebel was a legacy on-prem CRM and Salesforce being in cloud. I think it is reasonable for us to expect that the cloud is the future, and legacy RPA would eventually die.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, you also discussed a little bit about the pandemic, indirectly mentioned about companies having 5 years or 10 years that they believed was their horizon to fully adopt new technology, adopt AI, implement automation, move workloads to the cloud. We saw during the COVID-19 pandemic that it was absolutely a have and have not situation. Digital haves were almost instantaneously at an advantage. Companies that were at least culturally aware and able to change quickly and pivot were able to survive, and in some cases over the course of the year really turn profitable and successful again. And companies that have been sort of reticent were the first companies to become victims of the pandemic, barring industries that had absolutely no control. Right, there were a few industries that could have been as technically involved as possible, and you couldn't get the cruise ships running when you weren't allowed to be on a cruise ship. So there were certain things that we will admit, but as a whole, I think we'll all admit we're in like the late innings. You can use a number of analogies: fourth quarter, late innings. We're in the winter season of the pandemic. It looks like, with the exception of a few hot spots, we are going to be turning a corner, getting back to, I wouldn't say normal, because work probably won't be normal. But you've been talking to customers. You had a sort of a ramp of up to the pandemic, then you had the pandemic onset, and then you had the throughout period. Now that you're coming out of the pandemic, are your conversations with customers changing? Are they accelerating? Is this becoming more important? What are you seeing as it relates to your business?
I think there are 3 or 4 topics that keep coming back among all of our customers. The first is they acknowledge nobody is certain how the future of work will be. I think people think it will be some kind of an hybrid, right, in remote and in office. But they accept that it has to be the mindset required is success from anywhere and automation from anywhere. Everything has to happen anywhere, regardless of where the workplace is. So that is built into their new mindset of how they are thinking in, and naturally, cloud fits it into very very well from the access from anywhere. So that is a key component. The second thing companies are focused on, some who are trying to get back to growth and some who had experienced phenomenal growth, like some sectors of retail had just phenomenal growth on e-commerce, for example. They are expecting even faster growth as some economies recover, especially in the US. The projections of recovery are amazing. So how do they grow in that kind of an environment? And you cannot scale beyond some point without automation. So not surprisingly, they are thinking of automation primarily for a growth driver. So that is key. One of the key conversations that comes up. I think the second part their customers are focused on is customer experience and employee experience. And they're connected, because if your employee experience is superior, they will provide better customer experience. And just kind of the year we have had, look at employees and what they went through. So they're completely revamping how work gets done from anywhere. And so that's a key focus. And the third is always about productivity and efficiency. It always makes sense to reduce wastage and be more efficient and effective. So I think these are the 3 key conversations where it comes down.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that, as you were talking, Mihir, that really caught my attention, I guess I wanted to ask you about, is these are the conversations that your clients are having. You have a technology that can help with one, for sure, because they're looking to become more profitable. 2, through automation, you can certainly deliver improved customer and employee experiences, right? Removing duplicative work, making customers, more able to access information, engage with UI, UX across the board. But what about the company? How is how were the results? How did the actual pandemic impact? I know you're not public yet, so you can't necessarily or don't need to disclose everything, but over the course of the pandemic, a lot of attention got drawn to collaboration platforms. A lot of attention got drawn to public cloud. But, I would say RPA got a little quieter. Was it quieter for you, or were you guys still humming along throughout the pandemic?
On the contrary, I think the demand for digital transformation accelerated, and we had high double-digit growth during pandemic year. And in some areas, like the cloud adoption I mentioned, we saw more than 700% growth. There's one, I'll just point out a couple of examples. One of our solution allowed customers to process unstructured documents, invoices and claims and mortgage applications. And it with a power of artificial intelligence, it could make sense out of all the documents and allows you to make decisions fast. Now, if you think about this pre-pandemic, Daniel, you you had a choice to move paper between offices. It wasn't elegant, but it worked. You could move set of papers. During pandemic, what are you going to do? Ship papers to people, employees' home? So there wasn't even a choice. So in some areas, the workloads we have never experienced before. And I don't think anybody is going back to the old way of doing it now. They realize how antiquated some of our methods were. So a year of a phenomenal growth, and we expect it to continue.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's, impressive. I saw some, notes and, let me know if any of this can't be shared, but I had some pre-notes and a couple of things caught my attention. You said banking and financial grew over 1,000%, oil and gas over 800%, tech, your business grew, the adoption of your automation, your big 360 platform over 1,200%. And you've now got customers in 90 countries. I'm not touting that for you, but I'm saying as an analyst, I like impressive numbers, and those are impressive numbers. And it certainly makes a strong case that while, like I said, the automation topic may have been less front and center as we all talked about, more video conferencing and remote meetings and, SaaS, the demand for these technologies actually were instrumental in the company's sustainability and resilience that companies were looking to build. And we are a fully remote company, and yes, paper does not move from office to office, and it does not ship. And actually, when I have to ship paper, it's an extraordinarily difficult and heavy lift. Usually requires me driving to a FedEx store somewhere, and it's not something I would wish on anybody. It's just not the world we live in. It's a digital world. When people wet ink, are you kidding me? You need to wet ink sign that and send it? Oh my gosh. All I can think to myself is, wow, what an antiquated industry you must be in if that's something you're still requiring. Anyhow, I digress. I got time for about one more question. It's been great talking to you, Mihir. Thanks so much for spending some time with us here. You guys are really accelerating your cloud journey. And one of the ways you were doing that was yourself and Thomas Kurian, CEO of Google Cloud, recently came out and announced a new partnership. This was a big deal. It was a big moment. Of course, I know Automation Anywhere partners with multiple clouds. What makes this partnership special, unique? Why did it warrant some special attention?
Of course. So as you pointed out, we work with multiple clouds, and we natively support all the large cloud vendors that our customers would choose. But what is special about our partnership with Google Cloud is it's a multi-dimensional partnership and a very deep partnership. Not only with this partnership, Automation Anywhere natively works on a Google Cloud, so, offering seamless experience to Google customers. But we are doing a couple more things. We are deeply integrating Automation Anywhere with some of the Google technologies, Google AI, ML, APG, and other Google platforms, so that customer get a seamless experience. And the third thing we are doing with Google is to create industry-specific solutions in specific in specific verticals. And we believe that is a key to getting AI and RPA accessible to millions of end users. that is how we'll be able to create impact that this technology can truly deliver. And so that is I think with those developments, this category and what we have to offer and the value that we'll deliver to our customers will reach a new level altogether. So excited about that partnership.
Absolutely. And congratulations on the announcement. Been watching and following the Google Cloud developments very closely. And this, of course, will add to both of your companies' abilities to go to market. I'm also very interested in continuing to watch the story of Automation Anywhere. I think there's possibly a very big inflection point coming up for the company. Just my speculation. Won't say anything about yours because you don't have to, and maybe you can't. But Mihir Shukla, it's been a fascinating time speaking with you. Really appreciate you joining us here at the 2021 edition of the 6.5 Summit, and I hope we can count on having you back next year.
Would love to. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Daniel. Thank you.
Absolutely. So for everyone out there, day 5 of the 6.5 Summit 2021, you've heard from now more than 40 tremendous thinkers across the tech industry. We hope you take the time, listen to all the sessions, but of course, every session is available on demand, very searchable. Go check out the ones that are most interesting to you. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.